Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tyler Rohde. I sit down with comics and talk to them about comedy and various other things. All I ask of you is to like and subscribe, and let's get on with the show. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm right now sitting down with Bill Baronke. How are you, Bill?
I'm well. I'm a little thrown off, a little irritated with this because only one of us got really cool headphones with like color switching on the ears, and it's not me.
Do you want to hear double?
Maybe it would be, well, it might be twice as annoying. Good call. All right, sit there with your lighted ears.
All right, so nice, simple question. Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Cincinnati, Ohio, which is the cutest little medium-sized city that thinks it's big. It's adorable. They have a real chip on their shoulder. But actually, it's funny. It's like when I go back now, they've redeveloped all these places. They're like, this is over the Rhine, which was always the worst place in the city.
Yeah.
And it'd be a place where you're like, oh, you know, where do you want to go tonight if you want to get stabbed? You go up there. And now they've redone everything. It is so cool. And they've got like an old church that they turned into a brewery restaurant, all these different things. So you can go hang out with friends, get some drinks, some dinner, and get stabbed. It's beautiful. So I recommend it.
At least we can say one thing didn't change.
Exactly.
So how was it to grow up in, so you grew up in the city then?
No, I grew up in the suburbs. I'm
Suburbs.
typical cheesy suburban kid, sheltered from everything, incredibly white. Like very white suburban conservative area. And so when I first went to college, I'm like, what's all this racism people are talking about? Like, oh, that's it. Because I just wasn't exposed to it. We were all. I was the foreign kid, kind of, even though I don't really look it. So
yeah, and that's it's actually kind of funny. I was yesterday. I was watching this, or maybe it was this morning. Anyway, I was watching this one video because no matter what I do, whenever I hear liberal and conservative, I hear so many different things and so many similar things. I was like, you know what? Why don't I just go and see what a teacher says about this? So I found one of those online teachers, and it went over what's liberal and what's conservative.
Okay.
And looking at it, I found out that my sightings were a conservative view on liberal things, a liberal view on conservative things, a liberal, a conservative, a liberal, a conservative view on liberal things, and it's just like nothing.
Yeah, and that's the thing is I'm probably I try to be independent, and I lean more left than right. But it's funny because, and that's why I get so cracked up. People, they're like, I'm this, I'm that. And it's like, no, because most of us, it's like you be left on some issues, right on other issues, and that's just the way most. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, because
it's a good thing for people to get mad about,
Because with taxes and stuff, I look at him and how he said it with spending taxes is conservatives don't want to spend taxes on really anything except for a military.
Yeah, pretty much.
And liberals want to
and jailing kids,
a bunch of taxes on
social issues. Yeah, it's kind of like FDR, which nobody pays attention to history anymore. But FDR, with his whole thing, was about social programs and helping out the poor.
And unlike extremely specific social ones, like very limited social spending, and then the spending on the military. So I have a liberal view on a conservative way. So
what you're saying is you're a mess. Which I could have told you that. How long was this video? You could have just come in and be like, Bill, what's my deal? I'm like, oh man, sit down. We got to go over a list of things with you.
So, but it's just, I find it stupid whenever people say that they are a liberal conservative.
Yeah.
Because if you would go over everything, if I would go every single thing that a liberal agrees, that it's liberal, they would say no on a few different things. Which means they're not a full liberal. They lean towards the liberal side, but you cannot call them a liberal because they do not agree with
But the other thing is, why do you need to call anyone anything? And that's what irritates me, is like when you go to vote and they give you a thing that says, okay, vote all Republican or vote all Democrat. Like, why would I do that?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, like most voters, I probably don't learn enough of the issues and the people down the ballot, which is a flaw, because you really should.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are certain things on each side that I believe, and I think that's pretty normal. And for anyone to be like, oh, that's my party, and that's the way I think. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
You're that much of a follower that you can't decide things for yourself?
Yeah.
So, I think the big thing is you are very liberal in your headphone choice. But that could just be me. Which would be much funnier if this was a visual medium. But I'm not a very smart man, as we've already established.
Yeah.
So.
At least I don't have two different colors going. Because then people would be like,
how cool would that be? Oh my god, and then get one on top? Just to rotate? Like, I think we're coming on. Dude, you could market that?
Yeah, like almost like a light bar across the top of this.
Oh, dude, you could pull people over.
Red, blue, red, blue, red, blue.
Yeah, and then you got the mic that no one can see that you could lower down, and that could be like the step out of the car.
Yeah.
No? All right.
Yeah, which it's funny because I love these headphones. They're a really high quality headphone, but this mic is horrible.
They gave you a crappy mic? Now is this for gaming?
Yeah. Although I got it, so I don't even know what the brand it is. Because I got it whenever I bought my computer.
Oh, it just came with it?
From a pawn store, a pawn shop.
Okay. So it just came with it.
Yeah. But anyway, so let's get back into. So of course this it's kind of obvious because you could look at the thing, you can look at how, but of course you're a comic.
I try.
What got you into comedy?
I was always jealous of comedians. I always thought it was the coolest thing, and I was scared to do it. And actually, I was a sportscaster. And when you're on TV, a lot of people you get presented pretty cool opportunities that you probably aren't qualified for.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, this company asked me to host their awards thing. I'm like, all right. Well, they said you can do like 15, 20 minutes of stuff at the beginning, and I'm like, oh, cool. This is going to be, I'm like, and I could use, it was behind a podium, so I could use note cards. So I wrote, and I was all excited and terrified. And so I go up there and I do it for my first joke, and it hit. And you get this laughter, and it's like, oh my God, that's cool. I do this next one, and it hit. I'm like, oh, this is awesome. And it went really, really well. And then when I got done, and we do the awards thing, they come up to me like, hey, I really like the way you kept it short. I'm like, what? And then I realized I probably only did like 3 to 5 minutes of stuff where I thought I did 20. I thought I wrote, and I'm like, how does anyone do this? This is impossible. So then I was scared to death to do it again. And my TV career was going really well, and then my TV career went off the rails, and I couldn't get hired anywhere. And finally, I'm like, well, I'm going to try it. I got nothing else to lose. Yeah. Even though I still had a TV job, it was like, I'm bored. Let me try this. And I tried it and fell in love with it. And then I just went out and ate it repeatedly. But for some reason, you keep going, and here I am. Yeah.
It's actually kind of funny because I'm pretty sure we told you this, but my dad went up on the stage.
I know, and he's been telling me his jokes the rest of the week since.
Yeah, and it's funny because I myself, now I've never tested the time, but with how, seemingly long it is, I probably got about like 7 minutes of my own stuff. That's short.
You got a microphone, let's go.
No.
Come on, funny man. Let's do it.
I still have to work on it. Because I am working.
So when are you going to do it?
Probably in either next open mic or the mic after.
And that's my point, is because so many people come up to you afterwards and they're like, oh, I want to try. I'm like, just go to an open mic. Yeah. Go to an open mic, and you've seen them. You watch, and you're like, this person's horrible, this person's horrible. This person has potential. This person is good but working on something new. And the cool thing is you never know when someone horrible is going to get good. You just don't know. And then you walk away going, okay, this is torturous to watch, but I can do this. And then you go do it, and then you're like, oh, wow, I'm one of the horrible people. But then you keep going, whatever. And it's like, otherwise, why wouldn't you try? If you want to do it, why wouldn't you try it?
And if you go up to open mic and you are horrible, you're with other horrible people. It's not
and it sucks. It's deflating, and people say don't take it personally. Well, it is personal because most of the time you're talking about your life. But you know what? You think about it. Everyone else sucked at some point. Yeah, especially that guy headlining this week. Ugh. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I'll have them on in about.
I know. I'm just the warm up for the warm up podcast for the others. I got you. I know how you.
Well, it's funny. You're featuring, and then I'm going to be talking to the MC
Cyrus,
that's
who's doing a
Cyrus.
great job emceeing this week.
And then I'm gonna do DS.
DS,
Sandwich,
who's headlining this week. Yeah.
which means I'm going feature MC headliner instead
But
of
do we really
MC
need labels?
headliner.
Do we really need labels?
Well, I mean, you don't need labels, but you need to tell you how much time you need to do.
No, I'm going forever. You can't get me down. I'm going forever. Dude, last night I was having so much fun, and they extended my time because there were issues. I'm like, okay. And I was having a ball, and there was one guy sitting kind of right behind where we're sitting now, like the next row. And he didn't care about me at all. He's sitting there, he's got his arms crossed, he's like talking to his wife, and his wife was into it. And when you're on stage, that's what you focus on. You don't focus on the rest of people having fun. You're like, why does that guy hate me? Kind of like the way you're looking at me, same thing. Just that piercing contempt that you've got on your face. I mean, that might be a standard look for you.
Probably.
But, yeah.
Although it might be increased, because I was thinking...
It might be increased.
Because I was thinking of our next topic that I was going to bring up.
What do we got?
Music.
Oh, good. Okay. Here's it. Now, keep this in mind. I am much older than your host. Much older than your host. And he's telling me about classic music that he's into that was actually kind of old when I was young. And we came across one band that I despise that he is loving. And so we had to quit speaking the other day. And the band is?
Pink Floyd.
Oh, come on. Is there a more overrated band in music?
Yes.
Well, okay, name an overrated band.
In my personal opinion, the Beatles. Which means I'm about to speak.
Well, no. You know what? I'm not a big Beatles fan. And I think a lot of their early stuff is horrible, unlistenable. Like, loves you, yeah, whatever. But you got to keep in mind, for the time period, that was very progressive. It's hard to listen to, but my big difference, because people always compare the Beatles and the Stones, and I look at the Stones and their stuff from like the early '60s, and I think maybe mid '60s, but like Brown Sugar and a lot of that stuff still holds up today.
Yeah.
Whereas the Beatles' "Love Me Do" does not hold up. Now,
Yeah.
keep in mind, when the Beatles got heavily into drugs, their music got so good. And think about it. I Am the Walrus. Oh, what a great song. Let It Be. Come Together. Like, all their best stuff is when they were just fried. I might be wrong with some of this, and maybe I need to research a little, but it's much more fun this way.
Funnily enough, I love Come Together by Aerosmith.
Yes, the Aerosmith cover is really good of it. By the way, speaking of, since we're going on tangents, because, you can't have a normal conversation with me, no. Steven Tyler has so many great things on YouTube, and he does a cover of, why am I blanking out right now? What's the Janis Joplin? Take a Piece of My Heart? Yeah. Oh, his version of that is amazing. I'm sorry, I just wanted to go
speaking of YouTube and Aerosmith.
Yes.
Me and my dad... my dad was going on about how, I forget the drummer's name right now, but Metallica's
I don't know
drummer.
that much about Metallica.
But anyway,
okay.
Metallica's drummer, he was saying, he's a great drummer, he's the best drummer, that kind of stuff. And he grabbed a video and showed it to me. And then him and their lead singer, which once again I'm blanking on the name.
Okay.
I'm not a big Metallica fan. I love a lot of their songs, but I'm not a big fan of them that I know all their names. But they were having a drum off, and their guitarist all of a sudden started playing "Walk This Way."
Okay.
And then right before it gets to the part where it would sing, their lead singer got up to the mic and said, "Shut up!" And I just found that hilarious.
Shut up.
Because they were having like a drum off.
Oh, that's funny.
And all of a sudden he just went into "Walk This Way."
And again, this comes from a lack of knowledge. I cannot really tell the difference between a good drummer and a mediocre drummer. I really can't.
Yeah. If you would bring it... And this
I know drummers can.
Yeah.
I can't.
Whenever I look at it, if you bring the music onto sheet form, onto paper...
Which I often do.
Yeah. You can tell the difference between a good drummer and a bad drummer. Because you'll just see all these intricate details. Or you'll see like a really good thing repeated. You'll see good parts on paper. But for the life of me, whenever I hear a drummer, I cannot tell.
Yeah, if you're listening to Pink Floyd and you're actually awake, do you really pick up that much on the drummer? You're really more wrapped up in the lyrics, aren't you? The lyrics and like the melody and
lyrics, guitar, and piano. Mm-hmm. But of course,
and whatever you're smoking at that point.
Funnily enough, if you actually take out the drums, and this is actually with every single band that has a drummer, which is every single band minus modern music.
I was gonna say,
if you take out the drum, the music falls apart. But if you put the drum in there, you don't notice it.
Okay.
Which means it's a point of, if you put the drum in there, you don't...
Well, yeah, the drummer and the bass player are basically...
destroyed.
Yeah, the drummer and the bass player
are the ones that are underappreciated.
Oh, they totally... I mean, they don't get... the group equalities really drop off.
Yeah.
You know, from lead singer, guitarist to bass player, drummer. Drummer probably does better than the bass player, I bet, as far as groupies.
Yeah. It's iffy with each one. Depends on what song and what each one's doing with it. But like with Pink Floyd, I'm just saying.
Yeah, please use that example.
One of their most popular songs, "Comfortably Numb." David Gilmour, their lead guitarist, doesn't play a single note until the solos, and it's still loved. It's still great, which means you can get rid of
it's loved.
It's great.
It's so boring, and it drags. My pounding the table probably doesn't help. Oh, their stuff just drags on.
No.
That's all you got? No. By the way, why are you listening to this stuff? You should be into that horrible stuff without real instruments. What's the matter with you?
Because I hate modern things.
This is what turned me... All right, you are a very old soul. This is what turned me off to a lot of the modern music, is when they started sampling, when that first came out, which is ages ago, I got angry. I'm like, how are you getting credit for writing a song when you're really only doing half a song?
Like with Vanilla Ice.
You're really stealing someone else's.
Vanilla Ice, Ice Ice Baby. It's the same riff as Under Pressure.
Yeah.
The bass riff.
Yeah, and Hammer, what was his big one that exploded?
Super Freak and Hammer Time, right?
Yeah, and it's like, isn't that what it was? And it was like, dude, why are you getting credit for a whole song? You're doing a half song.
Because if you listen to the beginning, you can not tell apart. Like whenever I first heard Super Freak.
Well, yeah, they said, "Oh, we're sampling it."
Yeah.
So,
this
but
is
I'm
the
like,
first place I heard with Super Freak. Whenever we were here, because we sometimes send up the MC for the last time to Super Freak.
Oh, you gave it away.
And whenever I hear it, I'm like, and whenever I first heard it, I was like, are they playing Hammer Time? Why are they playing? They always play older music. Because that was the first time I ever heard
Dude,
Super
the crowds this week, they've been older than me. Seriously.
Yeah.
What did you do with all the young people?
The college kids are about over there-ish.
They can still come down. I mean, no, it's great. I love performing for Nana. But, no, people have been really fun this week. But it does crack me up. Usually, it's a little more diverse. And how white have the crowds been this week? It's hysterical. I mean, I don't mean to stereotype, but wow.
And, but it's funny. You can tell... I sometimes DJ here.
Okay.
And you can tell whenever it's me or Jeff. Because Jeff, you'll hear, like, some modern music. You'll hear, like, 24 Karat by Bruno Mars or whatever. Which is a good song.
So
and they actually have real...
How much older than you is Jeff? Ballpark it.
About 4 times, maybe? 3 times? I don't know.
Not 4 times. Oh my God, do you think he's dead? But still, this guy that's, let's say he's 3 times your age, is playing more modern music than you. Seriously, what happened to you as a child?
I could only socialize with older people than younger people. Okay, seriously, I don't know.
Your playdates were the retirement center? What happened to you?
And I just...
All the other kids are on the swings. You're playing shuffleboard.
Yeah, I think I was just not social. Which means I never dealt with kids my age. The only time I ever dealt with people was my brothers and sisters, or just the people that my parents would hang out with, which are older people.
Okay, so what happens when you go to school?
I would usually... Now, of course, I go to online school now, but whenever I did go to the brick and mortar school, I would usually sit... the one school, whenever they played outside, I would sit against the wall with one of the teachers and talk to them about something. Yes.
So why do you hate people?
I don't hate people.
I only hate people
kids
my age. Oh my god. So when they say, "Hey, are you going to senior prom?" you realize they don't mean bring a senior, right?
I don't go to prom.
Apparently not. Dude, you are so primed to be one of those student teacher things. So primed for that. I'm just saying, I'm looking out for you because I care.
Yeah.
Because we have a friendship. We've been here how many years? Come on, I'm trying to help you out.
Yeah.
Get yourself a nice teacher, settle down.
So, just out of curiosity, what is your favorite band?
I was telling you this the other day that I feel like I've become one of those guys that just kept getting new music and then stopped with a certain era and never expanded.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to force myself to listen to some newer stuff. But probably if there was one band where I'm like, you're on an island, you're going to listen to how many CDs, it would probably be the Black Crowes. Kind of, because they're kind of bluesy, but they're still rocky. Yeah.
In terms of listening to the most CDs, the most songs out of a artist, that would probably be Aerosmith for me.
You know what's funny?
Minus Pink Floyd.
And it
would be Pink Floyd.
It's so funny is I got so sick of Aerosmith, and I was a huge fan when I was young, because the radio would always play just their ballads.
Yeah.
And I'm like, ugh. And then somewhat recently, I just started watching some of their stuff online, some of their YouTube stuff, and it just was like, oh my God, they have so much great music that I just kind of forgot about.
Yeah.
It's like always, all right, Sweet Emotion, fine. Great song, whatever. But then you start looking at all the different things. And like Steven Tyler, he's at this bar, and he comes up to sing with just like a piano, whatever, and he's doing Jaded.
Yeah.
And it's such a cool version. And it's like, oh, wow. And then you start like, oh, let me look at this. And yeah, Aerosmith, that's not a bad call. That's not a bad call.
Although if I were minus Pink Floyd, to pick a actual...
You'll grow out of Pink Floyd. You'll totally grow out of it.
Favorite band, like in terms of not how many songs. In fact, my second favorite band, I only like 3 songs of theirs, and that is Dire Straits. I absolutely love Dire Straits.
I absolutely hate Dire Straits. Why do you like all this droning on music? It's like monotone music is what you like.
How is it monotone?
Dude, no. You know what? Is your favorite speaker Ben Stein?
Who?
Do you remember Ben Stein?
No.
Ben Stein? All right. Well, then that's totally false. You look him up.
All right.
He's the guy. He was actually in Ferris Bueller. Did you see that? That's a really, really old movie, but it's a classic.
Maybe when I was
younger. And he's the one that's just going Bueller, and it's all monotone. That's what your music is. Dire Straits. Oh, Sultans of Swing. How much did they play that to death? And what was the name of the song?
Money for Nothing?
Yes. Oh my God.
And then Walk of Life is their
yeah. And then they faded after that.
Yeah. Because what
about the Stones? You like old stuff? What about the Stones?
Not too many of their songs, funnily enough.
Huh.
Paint It Black. The beginning riff of
Sympathy for the Devil? Oh.
What's the one song? There's a beginning. I can't. Satisfaction. I love the beginning riff to Satisfaction.
That was voted
the actual song of Satisfaction.
Oh, love that song. I think that was voted the #1 rock song. And again, they do all those top 100s on VH1.
Yeah.
Well, VH1 probably does. Does VH1 still exist?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Although that with me, that's something that is in a lot of songs. For me, another one is it's off of Glass House from
Billy Joel.
Billy Joel. The Friday night I crashed the party.
Yeah, I know the song you're on.
Yeah, but that song.
You may be right. I may be crazy. It'd just be a lunatic you're looking for. Yeah.
But I love the beginning riff. Hey, Cyrus.
Hey! Don't go waving at the other comedian during my podcast. I know you like him better, but you have to pretend that you're interested in me. By the way, for those of us just joining us, which would mean Cyrus, the other comedian, we have been discussing this young man's old soul and how he likes horrible old music.
Horrible. It's amazing old music. But that song. I love the beginning riff, but I don't like the actual song. I love the beginning riff to Satisfaction. I just don't like the song.
I'm trying to think of a song like that for me. Money, Pink Floyd. Money, but I'm so turned off by it that I'm like, ugh. I hear it and I'm like, ugh, I gotta change it. No. Don't eat my time up singing this horrible stuff. Seriously, how are you such an old soul?
The root of all evil today. I don't know. I literally don't know.
Are you into horse racing? That's like an old guy thing.
No. Betting on it? Maybe. But no, actually, not horse racing, no. Because I do like to gamble.
Do you really? What do you gamble on?
Don't tell anyone. Scratch off tickets.
Don't worry, no one's listening.
Yeah, I know.
Scratch off tickets?
Scratch off tickets. God. And then whenever I can, it's because, this is the closest thing to gambling I can get without actually breaking the law, essentially. And actually,
you're an online guy. You can do all this online gambling stuff.
But then the one I absolutely love is the coins, the push forward coins, the one where you have to put in like $20 in order to get $1 back.
Oh, that sounds like a good investment.
Yeah. The coin pusher machine.
You put in $20 to get $1 back. How have I missed this?
Dude, that's exaggeration.
Seriously, do you have a rocking chair?
I did.
You need a rocking chair? And I just picture you like on the front porch and be like, my knee's acting up, it's gonna rain kind of thing, You can get me some lemonade. Come on.
Yeah.
Although lemonade's always good, but still. When are you gonna retire? I'm trying to think about your future. Well, you could be the youngest person at one of those like Del Webb communities. Because they're like, you got to be 55 to move in. Although they're very active, but you got to be 55 to move in. But once they interview you, they're like, oh yeah, you can come in. Do you play pickleball? Oh my God, you play pickleball. Dude, you are so on your way in. Listen, those places, they drink a lot. There are a lot of crazy things that go on in senior communities. I'm just saying. You'll be the senior community narc. You'll be talking to the lifestyle director while they're all doing their senior things.
Either that or being everyone at chess.
Oh, but chess is a cool game.
Yeah.
That nobody plays anymore, but great game.
Yeah, it's a wonderful game.
All right.
I'm not one of the people who say, I am great at checkers, because that just means you're horrible at checkers. You just do the same moves.
I used to be good at chess, and then I quit playing, and now I'm like, I don't even understand it anymore. It's awful.
Before I got actually good at checkers, I always just moved the rows forward. Never, just move the rows forward until it becomes a stalemate. Because You
didn't understand the intricacies of checker strategy? Seriously, we're in South Carolina. North Carolina is Mayberry, right? But still, you've got some Mayberry in you. You're worrying me. Well, you know what I think? Don't fight it. Just embrace it. Embrace your old soul.
I've already embraced it.
Actually, you have. Good for you.
It's like, so don't fight it. I never fought it.
Yeah, but here's the contradiction. Because you are this horribly old soul, yet every electronic thing you're a whiz at, which totally contradicts.
Well, I mean,
you're a complex man. You're a complex 88-year-old.
Well, I mean, there are 68-year-olds that play one of the hardest games in the world, Dark Souls, which essentially it's a game that you will just want to smash because you cannot complete it. You cannot play it. You want to destroy it, break it in half.
Here's what you're throwing. I have not seen any kind of violent tendency with you. I mean, we were talking last night how much you enjoy watching violence because you're a twisted soul.
Yeah.
But I have never seen any violent tendency in you.
It's a passive violence. Passive aggressive.
Here's what we need. Instead of like doing these podcasts with comedians, you need to do podcasts with psychologists so we could get to the bottom of you. I don't know how much time our session is, but I'm concerned.
Actually, we're just about to get...
I knew you were going to cut me. I knew it. Oh, fine. You're going to have the next guy on who's going to be all nice and funny. And what are you going to accomplish?
Talking about...
Okay, here's the point. Go to my website. I have a video up. I put a video up about Myrtle Beach. Did you see that?
No,
you don't care. You don't care. It's
I
a
don't
dumb
go on
little
Facebook
video
because I
anyway.
hate social media.
Oh my god.
All social media. Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter.
Come on, say it with me. It's ruining society back in my day. Come on.
Minus the back in my day, it is ruining society.
No, all social media is doing is exposing how much jerks people really are. It's not changing people, it's just exposing people.
Well, no, it's allowing people to be jerks. Because in real
People
life,
are always
they
jerks.
pull themselves back.
Yeah, but it's just exposing who they really are.
Yeah.
Not everyone is as
But
kind
before-
and caring as the man who's sitting across from you right now. Some people have dark, twisted old souls.
Wait, are we looking? Anyway. Well, I thank you.
You don't even know what to say. It's like, this really... Are you going to keep this, or is this going straight in the
I'm
trash?
going to keep this. This is wonderful.
So please, go to my website, billboro.com or billboronke.com. Same thing.
Yeah.
They both work. Check my videos. It's called Road Bill. I just started doing this on YouTube.
All right, well,
And thank you for having me, by the way.
you're
All
welcome.
this stupid stuff. I love coming down here. You guys are one of the reasons I love coming down to the Cabana.
yeah, and this
So
is
it's always a treat.
a wonderful place.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well,
Follow
I
that.
have two more. All right, thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me, sir. I'll see you in a couple hours.
Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all again soon. Have a good one.